This videotape is your dealer's way of saying thanks for buying one of our fine vehicles. We build the best cars in America, and we back them up with one of the auto industry's strongest warranties. So we want to make sure you get the most satisfaction possible from your new vehicle. And that's where this tape comes in. We asked the producers to give you lots of information about keeping your car running right and looking great. Useful hints about dealer servicing, about basic car care you could do yourself, about handling routine problems on the road. Watch the tape with anyone who'll be driving the car and keep it handy as a basic reference tool. We hope you enjoy the tape. We know it will help you enjoy owning your new car.
Hi, welcome to our presentation of tips and information on keeping your new Plymouth, Dodge, or Chrysler car in good shape. Let's begin with some inside information. Inside the glove compartment. When was the last time you put a pair of gloves in your glove compartment? Well, okay then, when was the first time? Well, what do you put in the glove compartment?
Maybe more to the point, what should you put in there to help you out in a pinch? The first item came with the car, your operator's manual. It's full of useful information about the car, about service and maintenance, and about handling routine problems on the road. Keep it in the glove compartment. Now, add a small notepad and something to write with. And here's one absolutely essential item. Be sure to check the batteries every couple of weeks. Another useful item is a tire pressure gauge. Takes up very little room. See? You're all set. And you still have room for a pair of gloves, too. Make them work gloves.
Something you won't need to carry in the glove box of your new car are extra fuses. Because on most cars Chrysler builds, they're already aboard.
Fuses are important to know about because they help protect the car from electrical short circuits. And on most cars, the fuses are easy to get at. Just check your operator's manual for the exact location of the fuse box on your particular model. Here's the location on this LeBaron GTS. See? Extra fuses, a handy little fuse puller, and a road map to tell you which fuse is which.
One word of caution, though. If a fuse blows and you change it and it blows again, take the car in and get it serviced. You've got an electrical problem that needs fixing. That's why the fuse keeps blowing. Fuses work as a sort of electrical safety valve.
Your Chrysler Motors vehicle is backed by one of the auto industry's best warranties, Chrysler's 770 Protection Plan. Your dealer probably explained how it works, but if you have any questions, we'll go through it in just a moment. And don't hesitate to ask your dealer about regular maintenance. At 3 months or 3,000 miles, 6 months or 6,000 miles, 9 months, a year, 2 years, all the way up to the limits of your warranty period and beyond. Dealership service technicians go to special training schools before they work on anybody's car. And many of them are ASE certified. The ASE stands for Automotive Service Excellence, an industry certification test that assures the competence of the people who service your car. Beginning 6 months after you take delivery of your car, Chrysler will send you timed service reminders to help remind you to schedule regular maintenance. And when you do bring your car in, keep a record of dealer service right here in the back of your operator's manual. Depending on how you drive and the car's age and mileage, the maintenance will include changing the oil and filter, lubrication, checking other engine fluids. Maintenance also covers things like checking the lights, or inspecting the air filter. Electronic scope tests on the engine. Tire rotation. All kinds of procedures crucial to your car's health. So, work closely with your dealer's service advisor and he'll keep your car running right.
Here's a quick tip for happier driving and extended car life. Whenever you start your car, let it run at idle for a few moments before you put it in gear and get rolling. The colder the weather, the longer you should wait. Use those moments to check your gauges and see that everything's operating smoothly. 10 or 20 seconds before you put the car in gear will ensure that all systems have had a chance to wake up and drive right. Let's go over some basic information about how your car communicates with you. Through its system of gauges and electronic monitors that read out on the dashboard instrument cluster. Some cars are equipped with analog gauges like these, the ones with needles and dials. And some cars come with digital gauges like these. Check the gauges whenever you start up and glance at them occasionally as you drive. The most important gauges monitor the engine oil pressure and operating temperature. The oil pressure gauge indicates how well your engine oiling system is pushing oil through the engine, how well it's lubricating the hundreds of moving parts inside the engine. If your car is equipped with this gauge, a tachometer, you can see just how fast those parts are moving. Right now, they're spinning at highway speed, around 2,500 RPM, or revolutions per minute, over 40 times a second. That's fast. So it's easy to understand why maintaining good oil pressure is crucial to your engine's health.
Keep an eye on it. And if it gives a low pressure reading, stop the car and turn the engine off immediately. Then get on the phone to your dealer's service advisor. You need help right away.
Oh yes, one thing the oil pressure gauge does not tell you is how much oil is in the system. Whether the oil level is too high or too low or just right. All the gauge shows is oil pressure. You have to check the level yourself, and we'll show you how in a few minutes. Now, the temperature gauge looks like this. Take a peek every now and then to make sure the engine's running in the safe operating range, which is clearly shown on the gauge. The other important gauges monitor fuel level and tell you if the electrical charging system's okay.
Get to know your gauges and be sure to check the operator's manual for the location and type of gauges in your car. All of them tell you important information about how the car is running.
And, check your message center every now and then, too. It's a kind of bulletin board for the car. Especially check it when you start up. It will alert you to potential problems. For example, this car needs some windshield washer fluid. The message center will also tell you if a door is open. Not only that, it will tell you which one, and the hatch, too. Pretty clever. Most gas stations these days are self-serve. Nobody's going to come out and greet you with, "Fill her up," or "Check under the hood." So count on doing the filling and the checking yourself. It's easy. Make sure the car's safely parked and begin the fill-up.
Check your operator's manual for the grade of gasoline recommended for your car's engine. And use good brand name fuel. Most mechanics will tell you to save money some other way, not on gasoline. Besides, if you have turbo or other high output engine options, you really should use the good gas anyway. While you're waiting for the tank to fill, you can make 3 quick checks under the hood: coolant and battery, windshield washer fluid, and engine oil. And when the nozzle does click off, give it 2 more clicks to top off. That's as far as you should go. You could probably stuff another half gallon or so, but stuffing the tank overfills it.
And defeats the vapor recirculation system carefully designed into the car's fuel delivery system. And that could make the car run poorly or even create a safety hazard. So, 3 clicks, pay the piper, And off you go.
It's always smart to cover your car with the best protection possible, and here's one way to do it. Here's an even better way, Chrysler's 770 Protection Plan. Under the standard 770 Protection Plan, your new Plymouth, Dodge, or Chrysler car is automatically protected 4 ways. With 12-month, 12,000-mile protection against defects in workmanship or materials of all items installed by Chrysler. Just about everything but the tires. With 7-year, 70,000-mile protection on the powertrain. That is, on the engine and drivetrain components like the transaxle, components that make the drive wheels turn. With 7-year, 100,000-mile protection against rust-through on the outer body panels. And with 5-year, 50,000-mile protection on the emission control system. Check the warranty information booklet for exact details and any deductions or special limits and conditions. One condition, for example, is a $100 deductible for service on the powertrain. That is, upon expiration of the 12-month, 12,000-mile basic warranty, you'll have to pay the first $100 per visit for any repairs on the powertrain. And your warranty does not cover problems arising from inadequate or improper maintenance. That's why it's so important to follow the scheduled maintenance services spelled out in your operator's manual, and to keep a careful record of all service performed on the car. Warranty terms differ on Chrysler Fifth Avenue and New Yorker models. Ask your dealer for specific details. In addition to this 770 Protection Plan, your dealer can offer you an optional added coverage plan for extra protection on things like the steering and suspension systems, air conditioning, the car's electrical system, and brakes. The added coverage can also help in an emergency by providing a car rental allowance and a towing allowance. Ask your dealer for details about both added coverage and the 770 Protection Plan. Soon after taking delivery of your new car, you'll receive an invitation from your dealer to attend a seminar called Right from the Start. The Right from the Start seminar is designed to help you get to know your new car and show you how to keep it in good running condition. It also gives you an opportunity to meet key people within the dealership. The first part of the seminar presents details on vehicle maintenance and warranty coverages, dealership policies and procedures, and other dealer services. The second half of the seminar features hands-on demonstration in the dealership service department, checking engine fluids, changing a tire. Operating dashboard instruments are just some of the procedures you'll learn about. Plan on attending your dealer's Right from the Start seminar. It's an ideal way to become acquainted with the people who'll be servicing your new vehicle, and to learn all about how to maintain it, and how to work with your dealer to get the most satisfaction from it.
Check your lights every now and then. You can do it by yourself, day or night. All you need is a good reflector, like your garage door. Back out and close the garage door. Now turn on the headlights and check the low beams and then the high beams. Next, check the parking lights and turn signals. You'll have to turn the car around and use your mirrors to check the rear lights, the brake lights, and the turn signals. For the backup lights, make sure you've got the parking brake set and keep your foot on the brake pedal before you put it in reverse.
Now let's put some handy items into the trunk. Things that can help you avoid trouble and delay, and maybe save you some money too. You can put everything into an old sports bag like this one. Here are a few basic tools. Different types and sizes of screwdrivers. A pair of pliers or vice grips. Some plastic electrician's tape, and a couple of clean rags. An extra windshield wiper blade. A small fire extinguisher, the all-purpose type for automotive use. Make sure it's fully charged, and that the handle is secure. You might want to have a set of safety flares on board, or a couple of reflective triangles in case you get stuck in a traffic lane. Throw in a set of good quality jumper cables, along with a pair of safety goggles. A can of flat fix might help, and so might a couple of tire chocks to keep the car in place if you ever have to change a tire. There, ready for anything.
Okay, a word about normal driving conditions. Normal versus severe driving conditions. A police car gets a lot of rough use in all kinds of weather. Severe driving conditions, right? Right. But how about this carpool commuter who does a 10-minute trip at either end of the day? Severe service? Maybe you wouldn't think so, but it takes up to 20 minutes for a car to warm up fully, so hers never really does. Never gets enough exercise, in a sense. Severe driving conditions. Same for this sales rep who drives around all day on local streets at slow speed. And this busy woman, 10 local trips a day. The point is, unless you can get out on the highway and run for at least half an hour at or near the legal limit, there's really no such thing as normal driving. So, it's not just the patrol cars. It's you and me, the people down the street, and most of the everyday kind of driving we do. The bottom line here, two things. First, give your car a good workout once or twice a week. Second, let your dealer service the car according to the severe service recommendations described in the scheduled maintenance section of your operator's manual, right here.
Let's talk about changing the oil in your car. The oil change intervals will depend on how you drive. You may need an oil change every 3,000 miles for severe service, or as seldom as every 7,000 miles if your driving qualifies as normal use of the car. Just follow the recommendations in your operator's manual under scheduled maintenance. Or ask your dealer's service advisor. He can help you determine what's best for you. Now, let's talk about who should change the oil in your car. Oh, you can do it yourself, but that's a real mess, and it can be dangerous crawling around under the car. Take the car into the dealer's and have it serviced by a pro. What's difficult and messy for you is something dealers are equipped to handle with ease. And they'll also use Mopar's own top-quality engine oil and filters to assure your engine's reliability and durability.
Your body is about 90% fluid. Your car's engine is about 90% metal, only 10% fluid. But that 10% keeps the rest alive. By lubricating engine parts moving at tremendous speed, by cooling all that metal, carrying heat from the engine into the radiator and out into the atmosphere, and by washing dirt away so that you can see, or by pushing the brake pads against the rotor so you can slow down safely and stop. So plan on keeping an eye on that critical 10%, on those vital engine fluids. Once a week or so, take a little tour under the hood. Check the oil. You check the oil right here, like so. Remove the dipstick and wipe it clean, then replace it. And then check the level. On a warmed-up engine, the oil level should be right about here. Now for the coolant. Unless you know there's been a major loss of coolant, there's no need to open the radiator itself. There's a lot of heat and high pressure under that radiator cap. Leave it alone. Simply check the coolant reserve tank, which is right here on most models. Use a 50-50 mixture of pure coolant fluid and fresh, clean water, half and half. In locales with Arctic cold or desert heat, you can use up to 70% pure coolant to water, but never more than a 70% mixture. And when you do add the coolant mixture, don't overfill the reserve tank. fill it to the max indication on the reservoir. Now for the windshield washers. The washer fluid reservoir is mounted on the firewall behind the engine.
It's easy to check and easy to refill with Mopar washer fluid. When you check the master brake cylinder, clean off any loose dirt, and then check both compartments, which should be filled to the bottom of the split rings.
Now let's check the transaxle. To do that, you've got to have the car running. Make sure the gear selector's in park and set the handbrake firmly before you start up. And let the engine warm up for at least a full minute. With your foot firmly on the brake pedal, pull the gear shift down to 1 or first. Then move the gear selector into each gear for a moment, ending with the selector back in park. Leave the engine running at idle speed. The transaxle dipstick is located down here, right behind the radiator. Be careful when you handle the dipstick. You don't want anything to get caught in any moving belts or in the fan. Clean the dipstick, put it back, and then take a look. Read it carefully. Looks fine.
Transmission fluid in good condition will be bright colored and clean, and smell fresh and oily. If you do need to add fluid, use the Mopar fluid specified in your operator's manual. Again, the best fluids will help make the car last.
We try our best to build the most durable, reliable, and economical cars in America. And once we deliver your car, we want you to have a good experience, both with the vehicle itself and with the dealer who sold it and services it for you. You can help us keep up the good work and make improvements where they're needed by giving us some valuable feedback. All you have to do is fill out and return the 2 surveys Chrysler is going to send you. You may have received one already. The first survey will take about 2 minutes to complete. It asks about your experience at our dealership the day you took delivery of your new car. Was it clean inside and out, for example? And was everything in good working order? Things like the horn, the radio, and the air conditioning. Did someone go over the car's special features, show you how to operate the controls, and explain the warranty terms fully? Please let us know quickly by checking off the answers and mailing the survey back in the postage-paid return envelope. The second survey will come to you 2 months after delivery of the car and asks mostly about your experience with the dealership service department. You can complete it in less than 5 minutes and return it in the postage-paid envelope too. Your feedback will help us confirm where we're doing a good job and tell us where we can do an even better one. Building, delivering, and servicing your new car. So please fill out the 2 surveys and mail them back quickly. We want to hear from you.
Let's spend a few minutes on one of driving's facts of life, changing a flat tire. It's easy. Honest, I'll show you in a moment. But if you want a short course in using the jack, read the label affixed to the spare tire cover or under the trunk lid. The jack in your new car is specially designed to fit onto any of the 4 jacking points located under the car. 2 on this side, here, and 2 on the other side. Okay, you're out there with a flat tire. You're well off the road and away from traffic on level ground. Everything you need is out of the trunk. Now it's time to go to work. Oh, remember that pair of work gloves you put in the glove compartment? Here's where they come in handy. First step is to chock the wheels. Chock both sides of the wheel diagonally across from the flat, like this.
Oh, before we go any further, a word about hubcaps and wheel covers. If your car has small hubcaps like this one, they simply snap off. But if your car has wire wheel covers, don't attempt to pry them off until you've removed the center screw with the special wheel cover key that came with the car. It's in the glove box. Now, back to work.
Use the lug wrench to loosen the lug nuts just slightly. 1 turn counterclockwise will do it, but no more than that. All you want to do is loosen the nuts. Fine. Now the jack. The jack fits onto the locator pin nearest the flat tire, like this. Now raise the jack by cranking it clockwise until the jack head lines up with the pin. Double check the alignment. If the jack isn't lined up right, you could damage the car or get hurt if the car slipped off the jack. Now raise the car with the jack until the tire just clears the ground. The less you raise the car, the more stable it remains. Remove the wheel nuts all the way and put them in a safe place, a plastic baggie, or in your pocket if you have to. But don't lose track of them. They have a habit of rolling away fast. Pull the flat off the hub and set it down flat on the ground. Be careful to keep arms and legs out from under the car. Next, put the spare on the hub and replace the wheel nuts. Make sure the tapered side of the nuts, this end, is on the inside toward the car. Tighten all the nuts until they just snug up firmly, but don't tighten them all the way. Now you can lower the car by turning the jack counterclockwise and then finish tightening up all the lugs. Tighten alternate nuts for a total of twice each, or until you grunt or the nuts squeak, or both. Get the tire fixed or replaced as soon as you possibly can. Your car probably came equipped with one of these little beauties. Lots of people assume that because the compact spare is so small and light, it's not safe. Actually, the compact spare has gotten a bum rap. It's small in order to save trunk space, and it's light to save weight and help improve gas mileage. It's really a tough little tire, but designed expressly and only for use as a temporary spare. The key words are temporary and spare. The compact spare can go for 2,000 miles if it has to, at speeds up to 50 miles an hour.
But why push your luck? After you change a flat, make the dealer your first stop.
Every now and then, your car will try to communicate with you. It's important to pay attention to what your car is trying to say, and it's easy to understand the basic vocabulary. Your car can even send you a message by writing on the garage floor or driveway. Here's what we mean. Look down here under the front of the car. A greenish puddle could mean you have a coolant leak. Check it out, and then look for signs of a leaky hose or hose connection. A darker spot further under could spell trouble in the form of an oil leak. Without starting the car, check the oil level. If it's low, add some, and then make a service appointment. A car that leaks oil needs attention right away.
The more closely you can pinpoint the problem, the quicker your dealer's service advisor can troubleshoot it and get it fixed for you.
All you need to start a car with a dead battery is another vehicle with a live one and a set of good jumper cables. The secret is in how you hook them up. Begin by pulling the car with a good battery up close to the car that needs the start, but don't let the cars touch. With both cars' ignition switches in the off position, connect one of the red cable ends to the positive or plus terminal of the live battery. And if you want to keep the black cable out of harm's way, clamp it back like this. Next, hook the other end of the red cable to the positive terminal of the dead battery. Now, connect one end of the black cable to the negative or minus post of the live battery like this.
And the other end to the engine block of the car you're trying to start. Any solid metal away from the battery itself.
Now you can start the booster car and let it run at idle for a couple of minutes. There's no need to race the motor. Then, give the disabled car a try. Assuming that the battery is the only problem, it should start right up. Aha. And that's all there is to it. Just disconnect the cables in reverse order, beginning with the black cable engine connection on the dead car. Careful of fans, belts, and other moving parts. Here's a couple of do's and don'ts on breaking in your new car. First, the don'ts. Don't worry too much about a break-in period. And once you've got 50 miles on the car, don't hesitate to take it out on the highway and cruise at 50 or 55 miles per hour. Just don't get in the car and roar off at full throttle in low gear. And don't be surprised if the car consumes a bit of oil during its first few hundred miles. But do keep an eye on the oil level and other things under the hood. And this is very important. Do enjoy your new car. Get in it, start it up, and drive it away. Have fun and drive safely.